Hey guys! So you're planning a trip to Utah and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what do I plan? Where do I go? What do I do? Well, we have 8 tips for you today that's going to make this process a lot simpler. Tip number 1, fly into Las Vegas. I know what you're thinking. Why not Salt Lake City? Let me tell you, Salt Lake City is a lot further from everything than you think it is. Also, Las Vegas is the perfect way to do like a round trip. When we first planned our trip, we planned to go into Salt Lake City, come down and around, and fly out of Las Vegas. And then lots of things happened, and we ended up flying from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas and doing a loop that way. Much more pleasant. A lot of people actually do it this way. It's highly recommended that you start in Las Vegas, you come around. It's cheaper that way because it's a bigger airport. Rental cars are cheaper. Everything's a little bit cheaper. So do that. It's a lot more convenient, and you'll be in Vegas, baby. Tip number 2, if you don't have a credit card, get a credit card. Why, you ask? Why do I need a credit card? It's mostly for rental car companies, hotels, things like that. If you do not have a credit card and you want to do a one-way trip for a rental car, or if you just want to have a much easier time renting a car, all of the companies recently changed their policy to where you have to have a credit card. If you don't have a credit card, they won't let you do one way, and they take a much bigger deposit out of your account. So if you think you're going to spend $500, you might end up spending like $1,000 to $1,200 without the card. And obviously, the deposit you get back, hopefully, right? But you just want to be prepared. The credit card will save you a lot of hassle. So get a credit card. Tip number 3, get an annual park pass. Utah has 5 national parks, and they're all very different, very diverse, very beautiful. You don't want to skip one. You don't want to have to skip one. If you have the time, go to all of them and get the annual park pass. It will pay for itself very quickly, and then you have a whole nother year to use the rest of it. Tip number 4, get there early. You want to get there early because these parks are big, way bigger than either of us really knew or understood. Even Arches we thought was like this cute little park. It's not. These places are huge, and if you want to get the most time there and you want to get the most out of your visit, you want to get there bright and early. Not only are they big and there's lots to do, lots to see, they fill up, and things can happen where things get shut down, or like they say come back in a few hours. You don't want to run that risk. Also, they run out of parking. So get there as early as you can and plan to spend as much time there as you can, because it's definitely worth your while and there's plenty to do. Tip number 5, download navigation or the All Trails app before you go. Utah has no service. And we didn't really know that before we went there. Like, we thought we might hit a few dry spots or whatever, but I think we had not service more than we had service, if that makes any sense, the way I worded that. So make sure that you download that before you go. Google Maps has a way where you can download your entire itinerary, like before you go, with little plots and things like that, navigation and everything. The All Trails app also has that, but that is subscription based. So check into that before you just plan on doing that. Either way, once you start your GPS, if you have service in that moment, it will follow you the entire route. Like, you won't lose it until you end it. So keep that in mind too. Tip number 6, pay attention to your time zone. So Nevada, Utah, and Arizona all have different time zones. Nevada is in Pacific, Utah is in Mountain Time, and then Arizona is in Mountain Standard Time. And the difference is that they don't observe daylight savings in Arizona. Also, some towns, just to get crazy, observe Mountain Time like Utah. So literally, if you don't have signal, you're going to be driving across all these state lines, because it's kind of impossible not to cross over a million times whenever you're driving through here. And your phone's not going to change, and you're going to be in the wrong time. So call where you're going. Say, hey, what time is it? They might think you're crazy. Doesn't matter. Find out. Otherwise, you're going to be like us, and we're going to be on our way to a tour, and we're like, oh my God, what time is it there? We don't know. We don't have signal. How are we going to call them? Are we late? Are we early? What time is it? And it just adds like a whole nother level of stress that shouldn't be there. Anyway, just call ahead. It'll be very worth your while. Tip number 7, you want to make sure you have everything you need for food, water, gas, things like that. So what we do whenever we get to wherever we're going, we stop at the grocery store and we fill up on groceries like bread, sandwich meat, chips, granola bars, things that we can take on the go, and things that make sense in the long run. We get like a cheap foam cooler for like $2, fill it with ice, put everything in, get the biggest thing of water we can find, and we go from there. The thing about Utah is there's not a lot there once you get out near these national parks. So you want to get all of that as soon as you get there, or as soon as you can, anytime you see a grocery store like that, because they're not going to be everywhere. There's not a market on every corner or a gas station at every red light. There's really not even that many red lights. So you want to make sure that you're filling up your tank as often as possible. I really wouldn't let it get below half a tank, just because things could get dangerous and you don't want to be put in that situation. So keep that in mind and just be prepared. It's easy to do. Tip number 8. Let's say you're a little more on the adventurous side, you're looking to stay away from the crowds. There are other options for you than just the main national parks. Now, I wouldn't skip out on those if it were me, because I went and I loved them and I thought they were beautiful, but there are other options. You have the salt flats in northern Utah. You have the sand dunes that you can like snowboard down almost. It's pretty cool looking. We didn't get to do it, but it looks awesome. And lastly, you have Lake Powell. Lots of stuff to do there. Just take a minute, look those things up. We didn't do those. We strictly did the national parks, but we've heard great things about all of those and it seems like a really awesome time. So if you're looking to get off the beaten path, there's some recommendations. If you have done any of those, leave us a comment, tell us what it was like, tell us what you did, if you enjoyed it, anything like that. Just tell us your experience. We'd really like to hear it and it'll help out anyone else who comes to this video. And if you have any other off the beaten path, secret destinations, let us know. Put those in the comments because we might want to do them and someone else might want to do them. If you have any other tips, anything that you think that we missed for this video, leave that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on any of our future content. We're going to have lots of really high quality tips and things for trips coming out, and yeah, you don't want to miss that. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors. All right, bye.